And Scott, if we could just give our folks a couple minutes to chime in. I got 2 o'clock on my side, but we can start at like 2:02. Give our folks some time to jump on the call. I'd appreciate
Absolutely,
it.
yeah. And in the meantime, I apologize for not introducing you. Dave Amico, John Geminot, our regional manager. Dave Amico.
Hey, David. John Geminot here.
John, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
John, are you good on your side? And Scott?
Yes, we are.
Perfect. Let me just maybe make some introductions, and I'll turn it over to you for your presentation. Good afternoon, Team Hamilton. This is David Amico. Thank you for carving out some time this afternoon. We've asked Scott Gruebele and John Geminot, I hope I pronounced that correctly, from Angel Oak to provide us with an overview and an update, and most likely a refresher for most of you folks who have used the Angel Oak products and programs. Scott will provide some insight as to what's available to us from a recent credit event, some bank statement opportunities, some foreign nationals, and I'm sure John and Scott will have some additional information for you to get informed. We'll probably end up, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe a Q&A at the end. And we look forward to hearing about all the new and exciting features and programs that are available with Angel Oak. So with that, John and Scott, welcome. Thanks for carving out time for yourself as well. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Dave. Yes, and thank you to everybody who hopped on here and attended with us, and for anybody that might listen to the recording down the road. I appreciate you guys taking out the time. So yeah, I'm going to keep this very brief and to the point. And then what I'd like to do is if we can kind of reserve all questions towards the end, and we can have a nice little Q&A session. I know a lot of people might have some specific questions, and everybody can get a lot of learning out of those questions and answers. Well, first, guys, I like to start by really going over who we are and what we do, and more importantly, in some cases, what we do not do. Angel Oak is by far the leader in the non-QM industry. We are the leader in sense of tenure. We've been around the longest. We were the first company to dip our toes back into the non-QM sector that is now exploding, and by volume as well. In terms of volume, our growth has exploded over the last few years, specifically over the last 12 months, with the explosion in the non-QM sector as well. So we'll go over some of those details. Most importantly, I think it's important for you guys to know is that we are here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to help you make more money. We want to provide you with more tools in your belt to be able to close more loans and make sure you're not missing on any opportunities. And we're here as a complement to what your current product offering is through Hamilton. So that being said, a couple things I like to start off with right off the bat. We are not a conforming lender at all. We do not do any Fannie or Freddie loans. And we do not do any FHA loans. Those are not our loans. We don't compete with any of those lenders. We are specialists. We are experts in the non-QM sector of the business. And then we'll go into some of those details. To give you a little bit more background on us as a company, as compared to some of our other competitors in our industry, As I mentioned, we were the first to get back into the non-QM industry, but we are the leader in volume in the sense that, give you guys an idea where our volume and how much it's grown. We closed just over $200 million for the month of August last month, which was a record for us. But that's up from $100 million just a few months back in March. And as you can see, that growth has been huge. We're up well over 100% year over year. I bring this to your attention for a couple of reasons, not to pound our chest or anything, but I think it's important for everybody to see that we are the leader in this space. But most importantly, guys, as I mentioned, helping you guys make more money, the only way we can get to those numbers is by closing loans. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. We know you guys can send great loans and great scenarios over, but if we're not getting them closed, it means nothing. And I think that volume speaks to the fact that we get the loans closed for you. And that's really the most important point I wanted to touch on there. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and dive into our products and programs on our website here. You guys can visit this at any time. Our programs are set in order here, and I'd really like you guys to think of them as tiers. We do have tiers, our Platinum, Portfolio Select, Non-Prime, etc. I'm going to start with our top tier program, the Platinum program. And the Platinum program is something we just rolled out within the last year. It's designed for your just missed conforming or just missed maybe some FHA programs. And really the pricing and the program is extremely competitive with conforming pricing, especially in the jumbo section, which I'll show some examples of later. But on this particular program, we have rates starting in the 4s. We have a 48-month, 4-year seasoning requirement on foreclosure, short sale, BK, and deed in lieu. We do take loans up to $3 million with credit scores starting out at 660, and we can go up to 90% LTV on these. So there is no MI on any of our programs over 80% LTV, which I think is big, speaks to what I had mentioned on the jumbos. We are able to do jumbos, 85% LTV, 90% LTV. Again, loan amounts go up to $3 million with no MI. On this particular program, we do owner-occ and second homes. We do investment properties, but it's going to be on our other programs. On this one, owner-occ, second homes, we will accept non-warrantable condos on this program as well. Interest only is available, as well as cash out refinances up to $500,000 cash out on that program. On this program, the Platinum program, as well as the next program we'll discuss, the Portfolio Select, you have 2 options for documentation type. We can go full doc, which would be your standard 2-year tax returns, last 2 W-2s and pay stubs, or we can go with the bank statement program. And the bank statement program is probably our most popular program today. I'm going to go into the details of that. And again, we can go into the option to qualify with assets instead of income on this program with our asset qualifier. So talk a little bit about the Portfolio Select, the Platinum, and having the option on these 2 programs to go bank statements. Our bank statement program, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's for self-employed borrowers only. We do require that the borrowers have been self-employed for 2 years. And then we have 2 options. We can go with the borrower's business bank statements, so long as the borrower is the 100% sole owner of that business. In that case, we would need 24 months of the business bank statements. And the way we do the income calculation is pretty straightforward. We total up the deposits over those 24 months, and then we can use as much as 65% of the deposits on those bank statements. What we'll do is we will give you or the borrower 2 options. They can either A, get us a letter from their CPA or tax preparer that tells us what the expense ratio of the business is, or B, option number 2, if for whatever reason they're not able to get the expense letter, they are able to get us a borrower prepared profit and loss. where we could then take the expenses from there. So to give you guys a pretty simple, straightforward example, if we took 24 months business bank statements for one of your borrowers and we totaled up the deposits to be $1 million, and then we get an expense letter from the CPA telling us his expenses are 40% of his revenue, we would basically deduct the 40% from the million. We would take the $600,000 balance remaining, divide it by 24, and that $25,000 that we come up with would be our qualifying monthly income. So that's basically how we do this on the business bank statements. As you can see, a feature there with us is that we can use 65% of the deposits on those statements, which is definitely higher than our competitors. On the personal bank statement side, it's a little bit easier in terms of the calculation. And guys, on personal bank statements, you don't necessarily have to own an entity. We can do 1099. We do realtors on this program. We do loan officers on this program as well. And the personal bank statements is pretty simple. We're going to take the total deposits over the course of the 12 months, and then we're going to divide by 12. And that average is going to be the qualifying monthly income. Cool thing on the personal bank statements is that we do allow transfers from a business account, from one business account. So if you have a business owner and he has decided to use his personal bank statements and he takes distributions on a monthly basis from his business via transfer, we can accept those transfers as income, okay? And again, the bank statement program, just to go over, guys, they apply to the Platinum program, and they also apply to the Portfolio Select program. We can do full doc or bank statements on either one. That being said, I'm going to roll in. And again, guys, if you have any questions, please jot them down so we can go over it all in the Q&A. I'm going to roll into the Portfolio Select program. So Portfolio Select is, again, speaking of the tiers, your next tier down, in the sense that rates do start in the 4s here as well, but there's only a 2-year seasoning for foreclosure, short sale, BK, deed in lieu versus the 4 years on the Platinum. We go up to $3 million loan amount here as well. And as you can see, the credit score requirement is a little bit less. It's 600 credit score for this program. We do go up to 90% LTV on this program as well, no MI. We can do loans with 100% gift funds on this program. DTI on all of our programs, by the way, is 40 on the front end and 50 on the back end. You want to make a note of that, 40 front end, 50 back end. And on the Portfolio Select, we can do the owner-occupied second home, and we can also add the investment property. So this is usually where we'll do your bank statements and your full doc loans on investment properties. We can actually go up to 85 LTV on some investment properties, assuming the borrower's credit score qualifies. Jumbo loans, again, we can go all the way down to a 600 score on this program, and we offer a 5-1 ARM and a 30-year fixed. This important to note here, guys, there are no prepayment penalties on any of our loans. I get that question a lot, except for investment properties. Owner-occupied second homes have no prepayment penalties whatsoever, only investment properties. And in that case, it's a 2-year prepay on an investment property. Asset depletion program is also available on this Portfolio Select. And we can go up to 6% seller concessions on a primary residence and second home, 2% for an investment property. We do also offer, in addition to the full doc and the bank statement program, we do also offer a 1-year tax return program for self-employed borrowers on this Portfolio Select here as well. Okay. The next program that I'd like to touch base on to go over in detail is our investor cash flow program. I get a lot of business from my Hamilton branches on this program. We have a couple actually in process right now. You know, your bank statement program, again, is our most popular, and we always get a ton of business there. And obviously anything that falls out from conforming or government programs. But the investor cash flow is a really good niche program. And basically the way this program works is we don't have to use any income to qualify for the loan. We don't even verify employment. We don't look at ratios as long as the borrower qualifies. We're looking basically at a few specific things. We need to make sure the borrower has a 660 credit score or better. We need to make sure that the borrower owns a primary residence. If anybody's taking notes, may want to take a note on that the borrower owns a primary residence. If the borrower has a 660 score and they own a primary residence, they will qualify for this program. And then from there, we qualify the loan based on the cash flow of the property. So basically, if you're purchasing an investment property, what we're going to do is we're going to take the average market rent analysis from the appraisal. And what we're looking for is for that average market rent to be equal to or less than the subject property's PITIA. As long as it is equal to or less than the subject property's PITIA, the borrower qualifies for the loan, no income verification, no employment verification, no ratios. Very, very strong loan for your investors, especially those that have a big investment portfolio that, as we all know, usually don't want to show much documentation. And we can go up to 80% LTV on this particular program. Again, no DTI restrictions. They must own a primary residence. These loan amounts go up to $1.5 million. And this program is usually done on a 7-1 on. Okay. Now, as I had mentioned, in order to qualify for the program, we're looking for the average market rent to be equal to or greater than the subject property's PITIA. However, in the event the average market rent comes less than the subject property's potential payment, we actually can still do the loan. It will require a little bit of a higher credit score, and it maxes out at 75% LTV. But in the event you have that scenario, we can actually still do the loan. The next program, guys, I want to touch on, and again, this is one that I do get a lot of calls from you guys at Hamilton on, is our foreign national program. And our foreign national program is a good niche for a few specific things. The bottom line is we do things on foreign national that most of your other lenders don't do. And when you need some of these things, we're probably the only lender that's going to be able to do them. So right off the gate, as you guys can see at the top, we go up to 75% loan to value on foreign national. Most of your other lenders, as you all know, are capped at 70%. We can also go down to a minimum loan amount of $75,000, and we go up to a max loan amount of $750,000. As most of you know that have done some foreign national loans, most lenders are capping you somewhere in the $200,000 range in terms of your loan amount. The third biggest reason that we get a lot of foreign national business is because we only require 12 months reserves. And in addition, we allow those reserves to stay in the foreign country. Very different than what you see with a lot of other lenders that some require $100,000 or whatever the case may be, and they want the funds in the US. We will allow the funds to stay in the foreign country, and we only need 12 months reserves. Okay. Now, as you can see here, guys, you can always go back and visit any of these programs. Here's a little bit more detail on the bank statement program, but you can always refer to any of these guidelines should you have any questions. The next thing I'd like to do is take you guys through the process of what it takes to get some pricing on a loan. You have a borrower, you have a scenario, you want to price out a loan. What you're going to do is you're going to come to our website here, angeloakms.com. You're going to go to your quick quote engine, and you'll punch in Hamilton Group and hit login. Anybody can access it. What that does is it's going to price out any scenario you put in here, and it's going to include the Hamilton Group lender paid compensation into your pricing. So just to give you guys a quick overview, let's assume we have a borrower here with a 700 credit score. We have a jumbo loan amount of $450 to $750. Our LTV, we'll say, is 80% for this scenario. Housing history, If your borrower had a foreclosure or short sale or deed in lieu in the last 12 months, here's what you would choose. If it was between 12 and 24 months, you would choose this section here. However, if your borrower has not had any foreclosure, short sales, deed in lieu in the last 24 months, you would price in here at a 0 times 30. And as you can see, here's your other options for lates on mortgages. So for this case, we're going to say 0 times 30 on a single family residence purchase. And we'll say that this is a 24-month business bank statement loan on an owner-occupied property. As you can see here, guys, it will automatically price you out on all of the programs that the borrower qualifies for. So in this case, the borrower qualifies for obviously both the Platinum and the Portfolio Select. We're telling you here that you requested 80% loan of value, but hey, by the way, if you needed to, we can go up to 90. Your borrower paid rate is a 5.875%. So touch base on that for a second, guys. On a borrower paid rate, you would have to charge your compensation as an origination on the front, and we allow up to 3% on origination. Or you can go with the lender paid rate of 6.875%, where you would earn lender paid compensation. If you chose the lender paid rate, the borrower would pay a 1% discount, and that would be paid to Angel Oak Mortgage Solutions and would be disclosed that way. It would not be disclosed as being paid to Hamilton. So the Hamilton Group compensation plan is 3%. And as you can see, these are your options here: 5.875 on the borrower paid, 6.875 on the lender paid, the discount point of 1%. One other thing I'd like to touch on the lender paid side is that we do offer different pricing options for lender paid once we send you a pre-qualification. So I have an example here, and this is not based on the lender paid compensation of 103, but it just gives you an idea. In this particular case, as you can see, when you get a pre-qualification, you're going to have all of these options. Option 1 will always be your borrower paid option and your borrower paid rate. And then you'll have options 2, and in some cases up to 6, which will show you if you choose a lower rate of 7%, your borrower will pay you 1.75 out of pocket as a discount to Angel Oak, versus going with the higher rate available of 7.5%, where they would only pay 0.75 to Angel Oak. And then in your case, you might have a higher option that pays 1 point to Angel Oak. All of these options, numbers 2 through 4, will all pay you your lender paid compensation of 3% in Hamilton Group's scenario. But you will always have these options whenever we send you back a pre-qualification, so that you can adjust them depending if you have a rate sensitive borrower or a fee sensitive borrower. Okay. If you looked at this scenario and you said, this looks good, I'd like to push this over to my account executive for a pre-qualification, you'd hit pre-qualification request here. It will bring you into our pre-qualification request application form, where you would select your account executive and you would fill in the details of your loan, Hamilton Group, etc. At the very bottom, as you fill in all of your details, you will see that we have 3 sections where you can securely upload your 1008, your 1003, your credit, and we've added the ability to upload bank statements should this be a bank statement loan. At this point, once you finish here, you can add any comments and then submit your pre-qualification. This will push your pre-qualification to your account executive, who will usually get that pre-qualification looked at and returned back to you within a 24-hour period. Once the pre-qualification is in your hands, at that point, if the deal is a go, you can then go through your internal process of disclosures, and your processors will then take over and get the loan uploaded and submitted into the Angel Oak portal. Okay, so that's going to be your process there for pricing out loans, sending a pre-qualification. The last thing I'd like to touch on, guys, is we offer you a bunch of tools completely free to market these products and programs to your referral sources and your realtor base. And I think that's huge, and not enough people take advantage of them. So I'll give you an example, how to access them. You would need login credentials to our portal. This is our portal here where you can sign in. Once you sign in, you have access to our marketing portal. In our marketing portal, as you can see here, we offer you flyers, presentations, whiteboards you can use, social media. Really cool, like I said, really neat, totally free. In this marketplace now where we're in a rising rate environment, refinances have dried up, it's no secret that more and more brokers and loan officers are turning to non-QM products, which are exploding, as a way to make up that volume. And this is going to be an easy way for you to really market these programs. So your flyers here, as you can see, we have a flyer for just about every single product and program that we offer. And we actually offer 3 of them in Spanish, all for your convenience. I'm going to show you what this looks like. So once you, just minus this for a section, once you open up one of these flyers and save them to your desktop, you can then reopen them and they will be 100% customizable. So try to blow this up, hopefully everybody can see. As you can see, you can browse and insert your Hamilton Group logo there. This happens to be my favorite flyer, our program highlights, which shows you all of our products and programs on one sheet, along with the different highlights and features of each one. And then at the bottom, you can see you can completely customize your personal information, contact information, even disclosures can be customized by your corporate office. So again, guys, this is, in my opinion, an invaluable tool for you guys. Please take advantage of it so you can market all of these programs to your referral base, platinum, bank statements, investment programs, etc. Going down here, we even offer you a PowerPoint presentation that has been put together and designed for you to be able to present to realtors, and is also 100% customizable, where you can input your logo and all of your contact information. Flyer here as well. We have some whiteboard sketch videos that you can use to post to your social media, post anywhere you like. And basically, these are all geared, once again, as a broker to a referral source or a realtor regarding all of our different products and programs. I won't play them all now, but I definitely recommend you guys play some of these. They are really cool marketing tools. And then lastly, we have social media posts here where we have a picture, a bank statement, for example, along with all of the content you might want to post here at the bottom. If you're marketing this particular post to your realtors, we have all the text here for you, what you might want to say. If you're happening to market this one to borrowers, we have text here for you on how to market that to the borrowers. Again, marketing portal, everything you need right here. With that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish talking, and I'd like to open it up to a Q&A session. Go ahead and ask any questions you might have on anything we just covered, or anything else that might pop into your head.
Hey, Scott, this is John. There was a question in the chat box regarding the seasoning for down payment and closing costs for foreign national programs.
Seasoning for down payment and closing costs. We require the funds to close to be in the U.S. for 30 days. That's one of our baseline requirements. In the United States for 30 days. We source and season all of our assets and funds to close on all of our programs across the board for 30 days.
And that will answer the
John.
other question. Yeah, that's great. And that's the other question that Anna, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correct, Anna, the other question was the reserves for the investor cash flow. And as Scott just said, everything's sourced and seasoned for 30 days.
Any other questions, please feel free to fire away.
Hey, Scott, some of our associates, maybe they're new to Hamilton, may not know who their account exec is. Is it possible to send over an updated list as to who the account execs are by branch? And then I can send that to our team.
Yes, so 100%, Dave. I'm obviously the account executive down here in South Florida, and I service the main branch. But if you guys are throughout different parts of the country, you will have local representation. I spoke with John earlier, and we're going to get together and update that list and get it out to you, Dave, so you can distribute it to all of your branches.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions out there?
I'm looking in our chat box here. I may not, how many months of reserves for the investor cash flow was the other, so not only seasoning, but what are the reserves requirements for the investor cash flow?
Good question. So on the investor cash flow, we only require 6 months reserves, and it's only on the subject property. So if you have an experienced investor that owns other properties, we're not worried about the reserves on those. We're only looking for 6 months on the subject property. To answer that one, and I think we covered it before, just reiterate on our foreign national, it's 12 months reserves. Not seeing the chat box there, so if you see any other questions pop in, John, please let me know.
Yep, no, I've got them here. I think we've got, this is being recorded, so we will try to get a recording of this sent out to you, hopefully before end of day today, if not the latest tomorrow. I think we've answered all the questions.
Yep. Okay, well, I want to thank Dave. I want to thank you again for putting this together. I appreciate the opportunity to get the message out to everybody. Hopefully it was helpful. Again, guys, we are here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to help you close more loans and in turn make more money. That's our number one goal. As you can see, we know exactly what we do. We're experts at it. We do it well. We do it fast. We do it convenient, and we're always here for you. Anything you need. Our goal is to be the first people you think of when you have a non-QM or out-of-the-box scenario.
Scott and John, thank you for your time, and of course, we value your partnership, so appreciate you taking some time out and sharing with us the Angel Oak opportunities.
Thank you, Dave. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you, Dave.